Okay, this video is about the automated email notifications tool. I often call them set them and forget them. It has been a long time coming. I'm sorry that it didn't get out earlier, but here it is. It works great, and you have lots of flexibility and control. You'll notice now you have a new area in your admin called notifications. When you click on the notifications, pops up with a box where you can add new ones or review existing ones, as well as edit them and delete them. So what I'm going to do is just go into start a new one, and then we'll go back and we'll look at some old ones. So let's click and add a new one. Up will pop up a box of information where you give it a name. The active button means, is it turned on or do you want it turned off temporarily? If you want to turn it off so that it does not fire out until you're absolutely done, turn it to false. And then you have to decide what it is that you want, when you want this thing to go out. There are 4 options. One could be when the order is placed by the consumer, so the day that they actually book the appointment. The other one is when they actually create an account in your Fiddlebug application, may or may not have placed an order. Another one is when the actual appointment date and time is that they booked in your Fiddlebug, or another one is a specific date and time. So let's just go with, to start at the bottom, specific date and time. So I could set up an email notification to be able to go out to everybody. Actually, let's make it more logical. The 24th of December. And let's have it go out at 7 o'clock p.m. And let's have it go to all the users that are in my Fiddlebug system that we have information on, which would be all of them. And then what we'll do is we'll just create an email. Just saying Merry Christmas. Something like that. And then what you can do is you can populate that email just like you would any other email. In this example, I've just populated in something that says Dear, and then these are called tokens. It will populate the information from the database. And in this instance, it's going to populate the user first name. So Dear Joe, Dear Sally, Dear Sam. Tokens are located on the right side here, and these are all the tokens that you can use. You can use full name, first name, last name, company, order number, order date, order time, order details, which would be the line items, when the job start date is, the job start time, your logo or your email masthead, which is the banner across your Fiddlebug application. So you can populate in any of these tokens to any of the emails that you want, but they have to be exactly as over here. So brackets, capital U, SER, capital F, etc., close brackets. As long as they're exactly the same, then everything will fire out fine. So essentially what we've created here is an email that's going to go out at a particular date, a particular time, to all the users saying this information, and then I just save it. And when I save it, it puts it in your list of services here. Now let's take a look at one of the ones that are existing already, like order confirmation. It used to be that I created the order confirmation for you. Now you have the ability to adjust it all yourself. So let's say that you called it order confirmation. It's whenever an order is placed, and it goes to the user and maybe to a specified person. So if you don't want these people, you can put your own in, such as you at yourcompany.com, and add it. So then it's only going to go to the user and then also to this particular person. There are some other areas that you can send it to. One is the provider. Now what do I mean by the provider? If I click the provider, it's the same as clicking the provider here that you have under the managed services that handled that account. Okay. You could also send it to all the admins. You're an admin, but maybe you have more in your office. I'm an admin, so I would get a copy too. I don't necessarily need one, so that's why I might suggest that since you're probably the provider, you click provider or some, and then adds other people in. This is something different. This area called Service Monster True or False it defaults to false, but what it means is if you can enable or disable sending this notification, this one, the order confirmation, for records imported from Service Monster. So if you don't want to send this order confirmation email to people who came over from Service Monster, if you had Service Monster, then it should be false. If you enter in an order when somebody calls in and you enter in all the information, instantly, because of the program, it goes over to Fiddlebug and populates the calendar. Now, with this increase, all of the data comes over as well, the line items and everything else that you put in at the time of placing the order and giving it a date and time in Service Monster. All that came over as well now, and you have the ability to send this order confirmation email to that person through Fiddlebug. So instead of having to do it in Service Monster, if you chose, you could do it in Fiddlebug. The advantage I see there is, my understanding is, you have to generate the emails manually within Service Monster. Here, if you fill out all the information on the line items and everything and move it to true, it would automatically do it for you, sending out an email confirmation. Why would you want to do that? So that you can get your people used to using technology to communicate with you, which is by far the most cost effective. So you might even embed in your order detail or confirmation information a message, saying thank you for using this our service. If you're receiving this with a call-in order, you are empowered to know that you can work with us online 24 hours a day on your time as well. So, or you could send out a separate email notification to those people as well. So we've tried to make it as flexible as possible. This one basically goes to the user. I'll go ahead and set it back true to the default of false. I would think you would want true, but that's up to you. And it's going to put in the company name, the word receipt, a hyphen, and then the order number assigned to that order. And then in here, this is just an example of being able to put in your logo. If I do not want to put that logo in there and I want to upload one, here's how you do it. You click on Image Manager, and you can put in a different logo if you want. I'll just pick mine. It also has properties you can adjust, but inserting it, bam, there it is. So you can change this to reflect whatever you want. I'm briefly going to show you some of the things. Here is the order detail. This is where all the line items of what they chose would happen. This is maybe a area where you could have terms and conditions and notes for them. So I'm going to show you now how to do things like hyperlinks and all these other features. Now, I'm guessing that you've seen these before, but basically these are the features. You can cut something, you can copy something, you can paste it. There's some pasting options. You can reverse your action or forward your action, undo and redo they call it. And then some justification options, middle, left, right, etc. No justification. Indentations. This is for numbering, number list, and then bullet list. I just showed you how to do the importing of an image. This is hyperlink. If I wanted to make thank you hyperlink, I would highlight it. I would click on insert link. I would then post where I want it to go. Right there. And click OK. And then it becomes blue and it's a hyperlink. So you can also insert like these Steve at Click for Cleaning, which would be email links as well. And the way you do that is you click on the button and then choose all properties, and there will be an email notification. So you can populate, put in the email address, and it will look like it will highlight. And then when you click on this, it'll pop up their email. What else we got here? These are basic heading options. Most of it is going to default to normal, but you could make headings. So if I wanted to make, if I wanted to make this very, very large, I could just make that a heading 1, etc. You can also change the font type as well as the font size up to 72. So you've probably seen that in Word and stuff. This is the foreground color. If I wanted to change the foreground color, if I wanted to have the background color a different color. This also allows you to highlight all the text at one time. So let's say you wanted to highlight all the text. And let me just pull it up here a little bit. And by the way, while I'm here, let me show you there down to the bottom right, you can pull and drag this to get larger. Okay, so remember that. But if I wanted to highlight everything, I would click that, and you'll notice it's highlighted. So now I can go and I can say, okay, make everything 20 pixels, or make everything 11 pixels. Whoops, and highlight it. Make everything 11 pixels. So you have a lot of control, just like a word processor. Bold, italics, underline, and strike. Those are the basic ones that people were requesting, and that's how you can adjust the body of your template, or of your notification. Okay, one thing I wanted to show you is how easy it also is to take other emails that you may already be using in other programs like iContact or MailChimp or Weber or even Service Monster for that matter. If you have created email templates, you can grab the code, copy it, and paste it into the body of the Fiddlebug notification program. And here's how you do it. You basically are looking at one of two views in the email body, either the design view, which is the visual view, or the HTML view. The HTML view will look like code, like this. So what you can do is just put your cursor on the left, far left, drag it all the way down and highlight it all, right-click, copy, and then paste it into the email body area of your new notification like this. Right click, paste. Now there's all the code that I just copied in from another source. Now when we look at the design feature, there's the actual visual. Now from here you can make any adjustments or changes that need to be made to dress it up a little bit better than maybe as you want. And remember, you can drag this out to make it bigger and so forth. So that's one other thing I wanted to share with you. It's very, very simple to cut and paste an existing email template code into Fiddlebug. The other thing I just want to highlight on is this: apply to existing orders. Be careful of that, because if you were to set up a notification that had order placed as the trigger and you clicked apply to existing orders, it would automatically go backwards and fire out emails to all the prior existing orders. You do not want to do that unless there's a reason to do that. So be very, very careful of that. So you're not going to want to do it for order placed or account. You might do account created, where you say, you know, back on this date you created an account with Fiddlebug. We just with our no, that's not true either. I apologize for that. Just be very, very careful on how you use that. Chances are you're never going to use it, but there may be an instance. That's why we put it in. So that's it on that section. Okay, lastly, what I want to do is just kind of talk about some examples of what you can or maybe even should create. Obviously, there are a couple in there when we first migrated you over to the new platform, and those are down here. Those were the order confirmation and order safe. We have changed them to reflect your requested changes. So if I were to populate the order confirmation now and load that template, it would look a lot different than, I have to give it a title, and populate the order confirmation, then it would look a lot different than what your present look. It's telling me that I'm an idiot, so we all know that. I have to give it a notification name, and I have to give it a subject, and then I can do that. There we go. Those are just default default to the program. So obviously this looks a lot different than you have, so you're probably not going to be needing these templates. Okay. So I'll cancel out of that. But the thing I want to show you is, or talk about rather, is some of the options you may find helpful. You can change these at any time. So if you want to say something special during the order process of the holidays, like Happy Holidays, blah, 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 change it. And then after the holidays are over, change it back. What about another one? What about sending out a notification saying we are coming, that is tied to an appointment date and time, that goes out maybe 2 hours before the appointment date to the user, and maybe even to remind the provider of where you're going and so forth. And then down here, you can have your normal information, but in here you can have blah blah blah, and then maybe even include the order details, plural. So now what it's going to do in the body of your information, it's going to remind the consumer what you're coming to do 2 hours before the actual time you're going to be there to do it. And it's also going to fire out to the provider a reminder of the information that you're going to do. So get creative with it. Here's another example. Maybe you want to send one out. Maybe you want to send one out 24 hours or 1 day after each appointment, as a means of follow-up, saying we appreciate the opportunity to have serviced you. If there are any questions, talk to them maybe about a warranty program that you have, and then at that time maybe ask them for the opportunity of a testimonial. Give them a reason to give you a testimonial. Give them a credit if they give you a testimonial. And then show them how they can give you a testimonial through Yelp or through any of the other sources. But remember, the SAFE program gives credits. So if they give you a testimonial, maybe they get 10% off their next purchase. And then remind them of the ability to tell all their friends through social media about the great service that they just got, because it cost them nothing to click one button, and they could potentially have a lot of savings on their next carpet cleaning from you, and you potentially would be able to not spend as much money on marketing and advertising because your clients will be bringing them to you through social media. So this adds a unique, powerful feature to the Fiddlebug program of real-time booking. Now we have real-time booking and just-in-time marketing. So maybe another example would be create a template that is 6 months or 9 months or 12 months after every appointment. And maybe you tie in last appointment we did order detail. It's been 9 months. Warranty factory requires that you maintain, or blah, 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 whatever you want to say. But get creative. The only thing I would caution you on is doing something. Be very careful with the ability to have all users. This is not a MailChimp Constant Contact Weber type program where it has an opt-out feature. If they do not, they have opted in with you by becoming a client and booking online. But if they choose to opt out, they need to know how to do it. So maybe at the bottom of all of your messages, you have a little text that says something like, we value you highly as a client. Should you choose to no longer receive specials from us through this means, please click this button. And it would be an email it would be an email link, and it would populate in the email subject matter, please take me out of email marketing. So that could be an opt-out feature there. But it's not going to automatically do it for you. I'm going to create one real quick, just send it to myself, which actually would be a good test after you've created your own emails. Just take everybody out and send it to a specific person and add yourself to get it first, then go back and recreate who you want it to go to. But I'm going to do this real quick, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it comes. Okay, it just came. I sent it at 8:17, or actually I created it at 8:17 to be sent out at 8:20, and I got it at 8:21. So here it is. Again, this is a very simple look, but it does fire out automatically, tied to the trigger events or the specific times that you requested. We also created just some information to help you look at a glance. For example, this particular notification, upcoming appointment, is tied to a trigger event of the appointment time and date with 24 hours before the event, and it is active, true. The welcome email is tied to the one I just did. Let's do order confirmation. Order confirmation is tied to when the order is placed. It's 2 minutes after the order is placed. It's going to go out. You can make that 1 minute, 0 minutes, 1 day, whatever you want, and it's true as well. As you can see, the Steve test is a false or non-active notification. We decided to allow this true or false with regards to whether it's active or not, because you may want to create them and then use them again in the future. So just turn them off if that's the case. Maybe you run spring specials, summer specials, etc., and you don't want to create them all over again. So just turn them off. But make sure you give them a good notification name so you'll know, what it is. Not real long, but just so you'll know. This is a very empowering enhancement to the program. If you choose not to use it, you are missing the boat. But think about this. People found you on the internet. They want to communicate with you through that medium. This now gives you the opportunity to create it once, whatever it is that you want to say to them, reminders, notifications of order confirmation, Christmas specials, spring specials, whatever it is you want to do, and send it out automatically. In other words, you're out cleaning and it's firing out your marketing. So let me know what you think. If you have any questions at all, 630-444-2000, choose option 1. It'll get to me. Hope you like it. I know for a fact that it's going to make the program so much more empowering than it already was.